Welcome to your practice. My name is Danielle Mika, and I'm here to guide you through a grounding practice to support you when you're feeling stressed or anxious. Let's go ahead and start in seated. So get comfortable, and that may mean sitting up on your couch. It may look like using a bolster or something to prop your hips up a little bit higher than your knees. Just take a moment to get settled into your pose, into this first pose. This posture is called Sukhasana, which means easy seated posture. So find ease, and it doesn't have to look like this. Wherever you are, go ahead and root your sitting bones down into the earth or your chair or bolster or block. And start to lengthen to the sides of your waist. Lift your heart, soften your shoulders back and down. Go ahead and close your eyes and begin to breathe deeply. So I find that whenever I'm stressed, my thoughts are running wild and my breath is labored, it's shallow. So what we're going to do right now is begin Ujjayi breath, that long, slow, audible inhalation and exhalation, contracting the muscles of your throat, breathing in and out through your nose. Allow your shoulders to soften down as you lengthen through the spine. And if you're newer to the practice of Ujjayi breath, go ahead and open your mouth and sigh out and create that ha sound. Let's do that again. Inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling, opening your mouth, creating that ha sound. Now see if you can softly seal your lips and simulate that sound on both the inhale and the exhale. It's as if you are sipping air through a small tube, like you've kind of smashed your straw and you're inhaling very slowly, expanding into the rib cage, back body, and then exhaling completely. Keep going at your own pace. You might start with a 3-second inhalation, or maybe a 4, 5, 6. Each of us is unique. Each one of us, we have our own breath cycles, our own lived experience, our own thought patterns. And that will directly affect the breath. So this breathing technique is activating your parasympathetic nervous system, our nervous system that's responsible for resting, digesting, for relaxation. And it's the exact opposite of the fight or flight response. So when we are experiencing some stress or anxiety, we are in that fight or flight response. As we practice today, stay grounded, stay rooted in this breath, even if that means stepping out of a pose and coming into seated or laying down or coming into child's pose. We're not going to sacrifice our breath for anything. And the more we can practice that on the mat, prioritizing our breath, the more automatic it'll be when we're off the mat. All right, when you're ready and you feel called to, let's come to tabletop position. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, And let's start to sway the hips from side to side. I find that when I'm experiencing stress, my glutes start to clench up as well. So we'll do a little bit more opening in the hips, releasing some of the tension or the knots there. Again, just notice if you've slipped away from your breath and now the forefront of your awareness is the movement. Let's switch that. So the breath is the center. The breath is the guide. And then the movement can just be an outcome of an intention, a gentle intention that you set to move. Right, come to neutral spine right here. So the hips are right on top of the knees. And let's start with some cat-cows. On the inhale, you'll lift the tailbone up high to the sky, draw the shoulder blades onto the back, lift the heart. Exhale, we'll contract and round, moving in the opposite direction. Pubic bone comes in a little bit closer towards the navel, chin draws in towards the chest. Really round the spine. Inhale, let's come into the back bend. Right now, most likely, you don't need to be centered in your core or think about balance. So feel free to close your eyes if that serves you. Exhale, contract and round. But if you are feeling a little unstable, keep the eyes softly open. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhale, back bending. Exhale, contract and rounding. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back into your neutral spine. The core is engaged, navel's drawing in. If your eyes are closed, you can softly open them. Tuck the toes. Let's lift the knees up. Just hover here for 5. Engaging the core. 4. So we are bringing in a little bit of stress here in this posture. See if you can stay grounded in your breath. 3, you can always choose to lower the knees down. Navel is drawing in, the core is strong. And the breath is free. 2. And 1. Go ahead and lower the knees back down. Point your feet. Take the knees a little bit wider apart. So we'll open up through the hips as we move into child's pose. Extend the arms forward, tent the fingertips. So this will be a little bit more of an active child's pose. Bum comes down towards the heels. Let's bring the forehead onto the mat. You can keep the fingers tented or feel free to relax the arms. Begin to place the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth where your gum line and your upper teeth meet. Notice how that softens your jaw, your neck, the muscles surrounding your spine. On your next inhale, let's come back into our tabletop position. And then tuck the toes and slowly make your way into your first downward facing dog. Lifting the knees up, hips up high to the sky. Go ahead and begin to pedal the feet. Feel free to close your eyes here if that serves you. It's serving me right now to close my eyes and just be with the breath and body. Recognizing where I need to put a little bit more attention. Now from here, start to take your feet a little bit wider apart. You can open your eyes. Come onto the balls of the feet. Lift the heels up high. Bend your knees so feet are wide. Stick the bum up as high as you can towards the sky. Let's hold here for 3. Navel draws in. Bum is lifting up. Tailbone is tilting up towards the sky. 2. And 1. Start to work the legs in the direction of straight. Bum lifting up as high as you can towards the sky. Keeping the feet wide, let's slowly walk the feet all the way up towards the hands. Feet are about mat distance apart over here, so even wider than your hips, wider than your shoulders. Come onto your fingertips and just sway the hips from side to side, just like we did in our first tabletop position. Shifting the weight from one foot and then the other, letting the head dangle freely here. Again, grounding in the breath. Now come to stillness, feet are still wide. Put a slight bend into your knees so you can rest your chest onto your thighs. And either keep the hands at the earth or take opposite elbows for ragdoll. Wherever you are right now, just know that all things pass, the highs, the lows. Nothing is permanent. Couple more breaths here. With each exhale,